Hi everyone, I'm Airier, and today we're going to check out more of Super Eyepatch Wolf, the Unreality of Pro Wrestling, or the Roman Reigns story of why am I watching this and feeling sorry for someone who's most likely a multi-millionaire at this point. Yeah, because that last part, that last part. Super Eyepatch Wolf is very good at picking the exact moments that make you absolutely care for someone because you're watching them get kicked when they're down in the most depressing way possible. I broke. I'm not even going to lie about that. That's how the last episode ended. And today we're going to jump back into the part that broke me because I haven't figured out a better way to do this than to, I guess the term is self-flagellate myself by doing more of it. You guys know the deal. Link below video. Hit it up. Let's get started.
And his name was
John Cena? He did
John
this?
Cena,
I thought he was
in a lot of
retired by
ways,
this point.
Been through many of the same things Roman had.
Oh?
A young star pushed to the moon by WWE, only
Yeah.
to receive massive fan backlash.
Oh.
And maybe that was a part.
Wait, he did? See, here's the thing. I don't know anything about Cena until after his time in the WWE was over and he was more or less going into movies and was everywhere as the meme of the Invisible Man. I don't know anything before he kind of reached meme status, so I did not know anything about him.
Of what was
Still
about
don't
to
actually.
happen. I don't know. But what I do know
Is that a table and a contract with mics? What? I know they're playing a bit, but that is a very weird bit. I'm assuming someone's going to get slammed into it.
is that Cena was about to commit one of the most brutal maulings in the history of pro wrestling. But it wasn't.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is not even related to the video. I just need to go back to it. What the hell, man? Like, this is the most Naruto in real life hair I have ever seen, and I was not expecting it from a wrestling match. I mean, dear God, he looks like an extra, and he's somehow even crazier looking than the crazy personalities they bring in here. It is legitimately the most noticeable thing on screen right now. How do you do that? It's like you attached a mop handle, decided to fray it down so it looks extra broken, and just glued it to a pompadour that's slightly underneath it, but also even fluffier. It's not even part of the video. It's not a focus point, but it is legitimately just staring me right in the face. I can't look away.
You are the
What?
high exalted Roman Reigns. Look, everybody back there knows it. Everybody out here still kind of trying to figure it out. Because when they look at you, they see what I see.
Oh, he's just going to say the quiet part out loud. I thought he was going to get beat and everyone was going to cheer and break him. No, this is just telling him exactly what he already knows, what everyone else already knows, which is more powerful because they're acknowledging reality as opposed to the usual trying to ignore it to the best of their ability and failing.
cheap-ass, corporately created John Cena bootleg.
Hear his voice quiver as he struggles to retort, and then it happens. Roman
It gets worse. Please tell me it's something along the lines of just saying, yeah, it is, fuck this, I hate it, and just going full off script on this one, but this had to be scripted because at this point it does not sound, well, one, like he could follow his script so well that he couldn't improvise believably, but Cena is very much an actor at this point, as far as I'm aware, so he would know how to pull a script, so he's doing it intentionally, so they're intentionally giving up the storyline on him? But they have pulled surprises before, but usually don't script it out nearly this much with this much build-up, so I don't think it is something that's just coming off the cusp.
in front of the entire
But did he know he was going to say
world
that?
chokes.
They boo you because, first of all, you suck. And second of all,
Go ahead, find it.
There's no one booing.
Oh, wait.
Oh, that... I don't think this counts as choking. I think this just counts as him giving up. Choking would be like coming to the edge and just chickening out. This is more him coming to the edge and realizing he's already fallen past it so far that he doesn't really count as an edge, but he's staring up from a pit. It's not even something he could fall from at this point. He can't make it worse. Except with his bosses, who would definitely make it worse. How do you fall lower than a pit to get higher, but then also fall back at the same time? Oh. We have the Escher's Pit, apparently. And he just says, Roman's mic still needs work. That's just right in the background there. It's so calm, he's probably seen it plenty of times.
It's called a promo, kid. If you want to be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it.
Roman, now genuinely furious, lashes back at Cena, attacking the fact that Cena was now a part-timer and the pattern of him beating and delegitimizing younger talents.
You're a phony. You're a yes man who can learn how to do anything or be anything.
Oh, wow. I'll be honest, it doesn't sound like he choked at all. It sounds like he's not actually acting for once. Although they did say that he was getting better at acting. Maybe he's finally getting a persona he can like because he agrees with it. Kind of like how Super Eyepatch Wolf pointed out Triple H did.
But Cena, 10 years more experienced, volleys back, and in doing so, completely decimates Roman.
Congratulations. It took you 5 years to get a halfway decent promo. I blame you. I'm still here because you can't do your job. You should be ashamed I'm a part-timer.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of this was as staged as I was assuming. Because they're talking a lot about behind the curtains things here, which you don't do that in any professional environment. You do not talk about the behind the scenes work anywhere else than behind the scenes. The fact that he's saying this is a promotion, acknowledging that normally it's just being an asshole to get attention. It's like rap beefs. A lot of the times it's because you have a beef. I've been following people who've talked a lot about rap beefs lately. It's apparently an entire industry built around it. Then they get too serious. Sometimes you get Tupac'd. But when it doesn't do that, it's really good promo. And this seems more like he's getting Tupac'd verbally, which is still an improvement, but damn.
Because I can do this part-time.
2018.
And he's part-time, so he has other things to fall back on, so he doesn't need to be subservient in case anyone decides that they don't like what he's doing anymore. He's too big of a name at this point.
Roman felt more hated, more rejected than he ever had. And I gotta say, knowing how much a single bad day on the internet can fuck me up.
He ain't lying. Those days really do fuck you up. I mean, you get one person going, KYS. And you're just like, this shouldn't bother me. It bothers me. I don't like this. And then this is a lot more than that.
I don't know how a person goes out night after night, week after week, and endures this kind of disdain from tens of thousands of people. By all accounts, Roman, Joe, was a decent, hardworking guy. He was liked backstage and known to have treated everyone from the ring crew to his fellow performers with respect.
So what are the chances the reason he was put into a position he doesn't fit by being the hero is because people backstage just genuinely wanted to give him a chance because he is a nice guy? He can fit the role physically. He had a good initial appearance as the silent heavyweight who would just fuck you up. And he was a genuinely nice person, probably what they were thinking along the lines of The Undertaker, where from everything I've heard professionally, he was a good person to work with. That would be absolutely horrible if literally the reason he was stuck into that role rather than the evil heel, which he might have been able to do better because maybe people wouldn't hate him nearly as much. And when he finally got over that and was more progressive, he would do better. It would really suck if that's the reason. That's pure speculation on my part, but it seems like also I'm hoping someone legitimately tells me I'm wrong about this. Like, normally I speculate because I'm wondering if it's real or not. Here, I just want someone to tell me I'm wrong and cite something so I can say, okay, good. No, he didn't get into a position that fucked him up emotionally and physically, because apparently there was issues, because he was actually not a horrible person, because that just seems like the reverse karma of horribleness.
Even then, was it really his fault all this was happening, or was it the fault of the people who put him in this position? Unfortunately, the answer didn't matter. At
because
this
he's there.
point, Roman Reigns was maybe the most genuinely hated wrestler WWE had ever seen.
It even says Roman Reigns on
Something
there.
Had
And
to
Shield
give.
on here.
And it did.
What happened?
just not in a way anyone was expecting.
See, anything expected would be in the ring. Well, don't say this. Something actually happened outside.
October 22nd.
Okay, the ring's still in picture.
2018,
Raw?
Monday Night Raw.
I thought he was in
It's been nearly
WWE.
4 years since that fateful night.
Oh, did he go somewhere else?
The show opens with Roman Reigns walking to the ring to what is at this point a completely inevitable wall of boos.
Wait, is Raw and WWE the same thing now? I thought they were competing companies. It's probably just me oversighting on something obvious.
But something's off. His steps are slow and heavy.
Is he about to retire?
No playing to the crowd. And when he enters the ring, there's just this pause. That silence immediately filled with the vitriolic jeers of the crowd.
This is where I would just say I quit and walk off, but I'm not a professional wrestler.
Then he speaks.
I feel like I owe everybody an apology.
What?
Come out here and spoke as Roman Reigns, and I said a lot of things. That I'd be here every single week. That's all lies. It's a lie because the reality is my real name is Joe. And I've been living with leukemia for 11 years.
Well, fuck. I had a friend who had leukemia. After 5 years of that, it fucked his body up a lot. He went from someone who was built like Roman Reigns to someone who was admittedly built more like me, which admittedly sounds good because, thank you, AI photo editing. But more importantly, that is 11 years. That is not an easy disease on you. The fact that he could do the initial bit years in as the big, strong, tough guy. Fuck, man. And this is probably him saying, I'm going into cancer treatment, huh? Ooh. Because that's the bone disease, if I'm right. That just, wouldn't that, I don't, goddamn. I don't know nearly enough to speculate about what leukemia would do to a body because I've intentionally managed to avoid all of that information because it's fucked up. The more you know about disease, the more you're like, I hate life. Don't do that. Just don't do WebMD. It's just depressing. Or it gets you to be a hypochondriac, which admittedly is still just as bad, if not worse, because it's all in your head. You can't fix that.
And unfortunately, it's back.
Oh, he was in remission.
And because the leukemia is back, I cannot fulfill my role, and I'm going to have to relinquish the Universal Championship. And it didn't matter if you cheered me. It didn't matter if you booed me. Thank you so much.
Expressions of disbelief and heartbreak.
I'm just trying to imagine the mood whiplash right now. Because on the one hand, there's probably all the people in the audience who were just primed to hate him because that's everything that happened. And he's going out there and it's like, okay, I'm giving you exactly what you want. I'm gone. Feel like an ass because it's literally in every way you probably didn't want. It goes from, congratulations. Here's $1 million check made of shit that you have to eat first. Admittedly, there are plenty of people who would take that deal. I am one of them because, frankly, we all eat enough shit just in general working environment that, I mean, if you've had to work in a public bathroom adjacent building at any point in time, that might not even be a joke. You know what I mean? If you have been in that situation, I am so sorry. It sucked. But, god damn. It's like everyone who was cheering when he first said, but you can even hear as, like, let's go back a second. Do you hear the cheer when he did this?
Expressions of
Yeah, there's that bit of cheering in the background, but at the same time, it doesn't seem nearly as comprehensive as most of the time. It feels more like people are just breaking because they're trying to, like, it's the people who are hearing and are still making noise, but are realizing what they're doing and pettering off, where there's the people who are just making noise and weren't listening as it's slowly filtering in what is being said. And you're just getting a giant pile of, oh. Also, if he's in remission, that makes a lot more sense. The guy I knew was never in remission. He just got degraded over a decade. Yeah, about 17 years. But still.
Of disbelief and heartbreak blanket the audience. Roman leaves his world title in ring and walks back up the entrance ramp, where he's met by his brothers in the Shield, real tears in their eyes, as a new chant slowly starts to break out in the audience. Thank you, Roman. It's a bewildering,
first thing he's ever heard that one,
moment,
probably.
one that I think Michael Cole puts exceptionally well. We come out here Monday nights to entertain. We live in this alternate reality sometimes, and I think we
Sometimes
all forget
alternate.
that we're real people, that the superstars in the locker room are real people.
I mean, that's not even just a WWE thing. That is a everything, people. It's not even limited to any specific superstar. That is everyone. You'd be surprised how many people forget that they are not a main character in their own personal video game that's a single player. Dude, we live in an MMO. The rules just suck. But that is not an individual problem. This is so common, and it is... People forget that other people are real. If you want to see an example of this, look at people who believe NPC theory is legitimate. You will find the most messed up motherfuckers ever. Like, legitimately, you look at someone who believes that. Not just, it's a joke, but someone who actually looks at this and going, yeah, my neighbor isn't a real person. I can eat their face without any problems. That should be a joke, and I really wish it was. But that's the level of fucked up. In fact, I'm actually thinking of a legitimate time where that happened, and I'm not going to say it because you could look it up. And it involves a girl sacrificing someone for Slender Man. But I'm not going to bring that up any more than I already have, because you can find that documentation, and I am not going to talk about that on YouTube, because that is truly disturbing. And that's the level of disassociation from reality that this kind of feels in. Except what I'm talking about is way exaggerated, but way more normal. And I hate everything about that. This is horrible, but also understandable, because you think fans and the people they're being fans of are separate, because fan means fanatic. And this is one of the ways they think it's fanatic, because you think larger than life rather than here is person. It makes sense, and I hate how it makes sense.
And reality came up and bit us here tonight. If you had spent the last 4 years hating Roman, whether it was booing him in person or talking shit online, this moment forced you to reconcile with the very uncomfortable truth that at the other end of that was a real person. And honestly, I was one of those people on Twitter, on podcasts, and
Oh.
to be real, using Roman, using Joe as an outlet for whatever was going on in my own life.
Oh, because he's a wrestling fan, he was engaged, and he just saw the fakeness of it and how he was forced up and acted on it. This is probably why Super Eyepatch, while he usually injects himself into a lot of videos to give a direct commentary, has not done that, because this would be a lot harder to inject yourself in when you're literally just making an entire video about your own failure, because it's like, hey, I was an asshole to this man. Damn. I don't actually know how that would feel other than just depressing. And that really does recontextualize everything prior to this. Because he's not just telling the story and building it up from this perspective of Reigns and what's going on around him. He's confronting everything he just didn't know during his own time as an angry troglodyte on the internet. Damn. I'm actually more surprised no one has brought that up in previous comments that I've seen, because that really does change the entire video itself.
I guess in a way, this video is my apology for that. And so, Roman Reigns disappeared from WWE television, his future unclear. There is a much sadder version of this story.
Sadder?
However, this is not that story. 2 years later, the world would...
Okay, I'm not sure if he's going to bring up the sadder story, so I'm just going to ask, if anyone knows what he's talking about, let me know. I'm not sure if this is a different video he did on a different channel or a podcast, or if there's a documentary out there covering it. But also, if no one wants to tell me because I am a wimp and it would probably break me, I'm okay with you not telling me as well. So I could go either way on this recommendation to let me know. But also maybe hide it from me.
Find itself in the grip of the pandemic, meaning that the WWE now took place in the nightmarishly...
Oh. Oh, I don't like this. I really don't like this. This is like the nightmare Zoom call from hell. I'm pretty sure there's Black Mirror episodes about this. And if there's not yet, they need to make one. I know he's about to say about this, but legitimately, I'm now going to have nightmare fuel about this. Legitimately, I'm scared to go to sleep now. Because I will remember this, and it'll just be all the eyes and empty boxes flickering in and out as the static engulfs it. But then you just know that people are watching you. You can't tell, but they're there. And any second you look away, they might just be watching you, staring at you. You can see their face out of the corner of your screen, but they're just there. Whoever thought this was a good idea was very, very wrong. No. No. Oh, God.
Dystopian Thunderdome. Having his return ruined by an increased risk of COVID, Roman Reigns hasn't been seen on television for months, with WWE actively seeming like they're trying to avoid mentioning him. The main...
Okay, 1. Wow, I paused it at creepy time. 2. So he had his remission end. He got worse, but he's coming back after 2 years, but it was COVID, so 2020-ish, 2021. But then they're paying it off and not hyping it up because they don't want to overhype him like happened before, or over-deliver during COVID when it might fall flat and just ruin a guy trying to get back. Also, didn't something happen to this guy? I think people mentioned it too.
Main event tonight instead is occupied by Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, which, Jesus Christ, is its own ridiculously long video essay that I will probably never make, looking to settle his...
He says he's never going to make it. I have a feeling he's going to make it.
Long-standing rivalry with the monstrous Braun Strowman. And
wow, that is a beard.
As the match enters its closing moments, Roman Reigns returns. But something is different. The way he speaks, the way he attacks his opponents, he feels violent and dangerous, leaving Wyatt and Strowman in a broken, crumpled pile.
Oh, they finally did it. They altered his personality for the character to make him feel more dangerous and someone who would just jump in and do the villain role, which is something he seems a lot more suited to because he was better at the quiet strongman who would be batshit terrifying. Nice. And depending on how his treatment is going, might be all he can actually sustain.
1 month later, Roman Reigns has allied himself
and he has promoter.
with his new special counsel, Paul Heyman. And
wreck everyone and leave. And they're already telegraphing exactly what his new bit is going to be, which admittedly is something he played better into. Not bad.
together, the two have snatched back the WWE title without ever even competing in a full match. And now his first contender is his own cousin, Jey Uso.
Oh, they're actually playing into that.
Is strange but compelling. On one side, you have Roman Reigns, no one knowing if he's a face or a heel or...
I wonder if they were trying to go for an Undertaker style thing where he's more just like the living dead. But that would be way too probably on the nose considering he's the one who they scripted to take down the Undertaker. And also considering saying someone's the living dead while they have leukemia seems, I wouldn't say it's insensitive, but entirely sensitive to how someone would feel for the explicit purpose of being an ass about it. You know, I can't actually say if that's not the case now because that is a compelling reason why someone would do something.
Or what's going on with him? But on the other is Jay, and Jay is delighted. See, he spent his entire career as a tag team wrestler with his identical twin, Jimmy. But this match was his opportunity to
against
show
his cousin.
the world that he was a legitimate star onto himself.
And there's a family resemblance there, even if it's just similar skin tone and hair. Huh. So it's close enough that he feels like he's fighting his twin, but also different enough that no one's going to confuse it.
Even more so because he gets
Minus
to
the beard.
do it with his own cousin. This person he grew up with. This person...
Oh shit, they were close cousins. Oh, so I'm used to having cousins like, hey, is it 1,000 or 2,000 miles separating you? No, this is more your other brother cousin. Shit, man.
he shared his life with. But Roman is cold, distant.
You sure about that? I think he chose the wrong one here. This is him smiling. And you can see he's trying to put on the I'm too tough act. But also it's still his cousin in the ring with him.
In one section, Jay hugs his cousin, delighted that they've both made it through their entire lives to this level together. And when Jay walks away, Roman makes this face.
Oh man, that is the Undertaker face. They even have it posed the same way. I would love to do that right now, but I would take very, very long time finding that picture. But that is the Undertaker face. They are definitely heading towards that.
Oh, sweet mother of Jesus, I thought. Roman is going to murder Jay. And
Yeah.
there it was. For the first time, I found myself excited to see a Roman Reigns main event.
Okay, I thought I could make it through this one, but honestly, there's just so much mood whiplash right now, from Roman Reigns gets eviscerated by John Cena calling out the obvious truth, to Roman Reigns admitting he has leukemia and it's come back and bringing out people. And I'm hoping they wouldn't script that just to give him a way to cool down the audience. And honestly, I think that would be way too easy to confirm that it wouldn't be scripted, so it probably wasn't. But also, goddamn. And then it's just the entire idea of him coming back, but now he's the dark villain, which admittedly, that was an intimidating look he did. So, nice. That worked. Playing him as the heel is probably going to work out a lot better, and I think that'll look great. But it's been all over the place, man. And I just need to take a second to calm down, because that was a lot. Like, there are entire stories and plays and movies and some songs that have less movement between the different states of how you feel about someone than just that bit of time right there. And that's amazing that Super Eyepatch Wolf could compress that into just that little segment. But also, I'm just gonna sit down for a bit, or sit down somewhere else for a bit, because that was also a lot. Whew. Yeah. I am looking forward to seeing what happens next. And next time, I'm probably going to drink less strong coffee, because I feel super wired right now. So I'm almost like super twitchy, focused on everything. Yeah, I thought packing in extra grounds would be a good idea and then doing it. Nope. Barely. That made it stronger, which is great for other times than now, apparently. Yeah. All the same, I'll see you guys in the next one. And if anyone has any answers to those questions that I definitely want answered, thank you for may or not letting me know for some of them that ones I don't want to answer because I asked and it was a mistake. I probably should cut them out. Yeah, we're going to forget those. Yeah. Either way, I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.